Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Vedic astrology coach, Rajat Kapoor, and welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. In my channel, I make videos on Vedic astrology. I talk about transits and how these transits have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. In case you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, please check out the link to my website in the comment section and the process of reaching out to me. Please share this video with your friends in case you like this video. Please note that for in-person consultations, I'm only available in Dubai. This video today is about an upcoming phenomena that happens twice every year. It is the annual solar eclipse. This is going to be the second solar eclipse of the year. This eclipse is happening on Wednesday, 2nd of October. The timing will be different based on your geographical location. And this time the solar eclipse is happening in the sign of Virgo, or rather on the axis of Virgo and Pisces, because whenever a solar eclipse happens, it happens on a no moon day or the Amavasya day when sun and moon are conjoined and they are within the axis of Rahu and Ketu. This time the lunar node, which is primarily responsible for the eclipse, is Ketu, and Rahu is on the other side. Now interestingly, Mercury, which is the sign lord of Virgo, is involved in this eclipse. It is 2 degrees ahead of the degree of eclipse. Mercury will be at 17 degrees. Eclipse is happening at 15 degrees. It is happening on a Wednesday. So the sign which Mercury rules, this is involved. The day that Mercury rules, that day is involved. So anyone undergoing Mercury Dasha, Antardasha, Pratantardasha is likely to be impacted by this eclipse. This eclipse where Sun, Moon, Ketu and Mercury are going to be conjoined in a mutual aspect with Rahu, who is going pretty strong in the sign of Pisces, and all these grahas and this sign is going to be aspected by Jupiter by its 5th aspect. Jupiter is making a transit in the sign of Taurus. They're also going to be aspected by Mars or Mangal by its 4th aspect. Mars is going in the sign of Gemini. Mars's aspect is the aspect of protection. What is being protected during this time? So you need to understand where these planets are placed in your chart, and these are some of the significations that will be protected during this time. Jupiter's 5th aspect is about knowledge. So this gives a lot of knowledge power with regards to the house that is involved in your chart, and I'm going to talk about each and every ascendant sign. Eclipses have a great significance, have a huge significance in all our lives. In the recent times, I made a video on the lunar eclipse as well, which denotes endings, and solar eclipse is usually followed by the lunar eclipse, which signifies new beginnings, rejuvenation. And this time this solar eclipse is happening in the sign of Virgo, which is the natural 6th sign of the zodiac belt, and is happening in the nakshatra of Hasta. I'm going to talk about some special significance first. So the first 5 to 6 minutes of this video is extremely important for you to listen, for you to understand, interpret at a general level, how you can link with most of what I share with you. And then I'm going to talk about how this eclipse is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. What are some of the key takeaways? What are some of the tips? I'm not making predictions, but these are most of those areas which you have to be careful of, which you have to be cautious of, where you need to channelize your energies and how you can make the most of the coming months as far as new beginnings in your life is concerned. Now please note, from a geographical point of view, this eclipse is going to be visible in the South American region primarily, some parts of the North American region, some parts of Europe as well. So these are some of the areas, some of the countries, continents that are going to be hugely impacted by this eclipse. This eclipse holds a special phenomena because it is happening in the natural 6th and the 12th axis of the zodiac belt, which is one of the important axis of endings and also new beginnings. It plays a very important role in our day-to-day life, and this is happening in the sign of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury gets exalted in the sign of Virgo. It is also its Mool Trikon sign. This Mercury is involved in the solar eclipse this time. So the solar eclipse is going to happen at 15 degrees of the sign of Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra in 2nd Pada. 2nd Pada denotes Artha. So it is all about material wealth. It is all about comfort. It is all about material things in life. That is what the Artha Trikon demonstrates or dominates. and this is also a lot to do with family and the welfare of the family, your speech. And the sign lord of Virgo, that is Mercury, is going to be 2 degrees ahead of the degree of eclipse, which is at 17 degrees on 2nd of October. Now, interestingly, this nakshatra, which is Hasta, is ruled by moon, and even sun plays a very important role as far as this nakshatra is concerned. So there are equal energies of both moon and sun, Surya, the two luminaries. Sun is the father, moon is the mother, sun is the king, moon is the queen. Both of them play a very important role in initiation in any Raj Yogas. Most importantly, fructification of those Raj Yogas matter a lot. It is said that if anyone has a strongly disposed sun and moon in the chart, a lot of negative yogas or even other planets, if they are badly placed, things are pretty much taken well care of for the individual. So, sun is the primary deity associated to Hasta Nakshatra because the deity is Savitur. We can also say Vishwakarma. So, therefore, sun plays a very important role in being the deity of this nakshatra. There are 2 alternate names that have been given to Hasta Nakshatra. One of the alternate name is Bhanu, that means sun. The other alternate name is Arka, which means sun's ray. So it is all about sun's ray. Now, if you understand from a point of view, what does sun's ray really means for us to understand the huge and a very important significance of this eclipse, it's very special. Sun's rays denotes beginning of the day. It denotes energy, vitality, immunity. That is how we start our day. This is where we get energy from. This is how we can see. We have a vision. We're able to see all the visual things around us, all the colors that are there around us by the virtue of sun's rays. It is denoting our fate, right? Our destiny. Where are we headed? That is the primary deity. It is the first ray of the sun which marks the beginning. Eclipse, from a basic understanding point of view, denotes new beginnings. It is happening in the Hasta Nakshatra, which of course indicates new beginnings. Now, Hasta also means hands, your hand with 5 fingers, your overall palm. This is what Hasta means. The other meaning of Hasta is also to do with laughter, because laughter means has. It is a very joyful situation. It is a very playful situation. Since laughter is involved, this nakshatra is of Rajasic in nature. Therefore, it focuses a lot on the material world, on the material comforts, and of course, things associated to the axis where this eclipse is happening. You could expect some sort of material rise or material things with regards to that particular house. Now, some of the very important traits of this nakshatra: it is ruled by moon and it has the energies of sun. So, it denotes beginning, initiation, time management or self management, how better we manage ourselves, how do we start our day, where do we get our energies from. It denotes punctuality, it denotes that kind of discipline. It carries the energy of sun and also Mercury, because sun is the primary deity and Mercury is the sign lord. Naturally, it is about Budh Aditya Yoga, because sun and Mercury, when they come together, they form a Budh Aditya Yoga, and during the eclipse, both sun and Mercury are forming a very powerful Budh Aditya Yoga during this time. The Mool mantra that is associated to Hasta Nakshatra, and this is one mantra that everyone can chant on that day during the eclipse, 108 times, 3 malas, or for 10 to 15 minutes without a specific count. It goes Om Nyam. I repeat once again, it is Om Nyam. This is the mantra which all of us can chant to get some peace out of this eclipse situation. So, Lord Vishnu is associated to this particular nakshatra, very closely linked. Therefore, reading or chanting Vishnu Sahasranam is highly beneficial on this day, particularly at the time of eclipse. It is said that eclipses are opportunity for us to gain spiritually, to have some sort of spiritual upliftment and to manifest those things more at a practical level in our life to manifest all the good things as far as the beginnings are concerned. So I would highly recommend Vishnu Sahasranam. It is Wednesday, it is the day of Buddha. Buddha is associated to Vishnu. He is one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. So therefore, from that perspective, it is an excellent time to chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Since Savitur is involved, Savitur Gayatri, which goes as Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So chanting of Savitur Gayatri is extremely auspicious during this time, and it can reap you much of the spiritual results and at the same time bring a lot of peace and prosperity in your life for you to look forward. This is the time to manifest any manifestations that you have which you need to make. This is the time for cleansing. It's a reboot or a restart because there are endings that are happening and there are new beginnings which you need to look forward to. This is where the energy shift is. People generally talk about energy shift in planetary transits, in retrograde motion, in direct motion, but this is where the massive energy shift is, because it is ending and then there are new beginnings and something that you need to look forward to. It is, for a change, for good, one of the auspicious eclipses because of the virtue of the nakshatra that is involved, some of the qualities of this nakshatra, the nature of this nakshatra, and considering the joyfulness and the laughter that is associated, the playfulness that is associated to this particular nakshatra. And use your hands, your right hand, left hand, or your hand to do anything. Journal. Use your hands to work out, maybe cook in the kitchen, work around your house, or do anything that you can using your hands. It is extremely beneficial for you. Now let us talk about how this eclipse is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. At a physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. At a mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. At the soul level transformation, you can also read this from your sun sign. And here I talk about the Vedic astrology system, the sidereal calculation. Chitrapaksh Ayanamsha is an Ayanamsha that I use. So based on those calculations, which are pretty precise, I'm going to talk about how it is going to have an impact and give you some tips, give you some remedies that you could look forward to. If you have prominent planets on the axis of Virgo, Pisces, or if you're running through a dasha, antardasha of Sun, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, and even Venus, because few weeks ago Venus have passed through the degree of the eclipse and was also somehow involved in the lunar eclipse, you're likely to be impacted by this eclipse. So therefore I could say that 90% of the people are going to have some or the other impact of this eclipse. Particularly 90% of the 12 zodiac signs definitely are going to have some or the other impact as far as this eclipse is concerned. To begin with, Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, this eclipse, the solar eclipse, which is the second of the year, the last of 2024, is happening in your 6th and 12th axis. So 6th house is where this eclipse is happening, where there is Sun, there is Moon, your 5th lord, 4th lord, and also Mercury that is involved as far as this eclipse is concerned, between the axis of Rahu and Ketu in a mutual aspect with Rahu, and they are being aspected by your Lagna lord Mars and your 9th lord Jupiter. So one of the important significations, what is coming to an end and where are the new beginnings, it is on your 6th and 12th axis. This is the time to heal yourself. This is the time to restart your daily tasks, your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. This is where you could expect new beginnings. This is where you could expect manifestation to play a role. You got to change yourself, transform yourself in terms of things that you do on a day-to-day basis. You could also have some karma with regards to new beginnings related to mortgage, loan, or any sort of decision where some finances are involved, where some debts are involved. You could also expect minor health concerns, so take care of your health during this time. This house or the axis represents competition, represents opposition. Your 12th house represents your higher consciousness, your subconsciousness, your ability to be more self-aware. So that is what you're going to be start loving and doing, is to become more self-aware. What are some of the strategies that you could put in order to be more conscious about your own strengths, to work on your improvement areas? Do a SWOT analysis of yourself. try to be more of giving nature. Any donations that you make around the eclipse time, it could be things related to sun, so you could donate wheat, or you could donate rice, white rice, or you could donate things related to Mercury, so green pulses or green leafy vegetables. You can, give it to those people who need. So this is going to be highly beneficial for you as far as this time period is concerned. On a spiritual side, you can expect some sort of upliftment because your 12th house is involved. There will be restlessness, there will be anxiousness, so your energies are more towards the anxious side. So you need to calm them out, you need to tame them out, read, chant, or listen to Vishnu Sahasranam. It is going to bring a lot of relief, a lot of benefit. Chant Savitur Gayatri mantra during this time, which could be highly beneficial for you. Expect changes in your day-to-day life. Expect changes as far as your job is concerned, something coming to an end, a new beginning as far as new work is concerned, new project is concerned. These are some of the things which you can expect. Mantras and prayers will help you cope up with this time. Take care of your digestive system over the next few weeks. There could be some developments. This is one area where you have to be cautious of. Take care of your relationship, your love, because there could be a conflict situation, there could be a quarrel, there could be an argument. So stay grounded, practice humility, respect the opinion of the other person, and for all of this I wish you the very best and may you have a pleasant beginning. Let us now talk about Taurus Ascendants and what's happening with Taurus Ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra, which has energies of both sun and the moon, as I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video. In this eclipse, moon is involved, which is your third lord. Moon also seems to be your co-lagna lord, because after 3 degrees in Taurus, it becomes moon's Mool Trikona sign. So Taurus has dual lordship of Venus and moon. This is something which no one talks about. Now this is where your fourth lord, sun, is also involved, and this eclipse is happening in your 5th house on the 5 and 11 axis rather, where sun, moon, Mercury. So Mercury, which is your second lord and also your 5th lord, that is involved. So your 5th house has Mercury, sun, moon, Ketu, and Rahu is there in the 12th house. All these planets are being aspected by Jupiter by its 5th aspect, which is making a transit in your ascendant, and Mars by its 4th aspect, which is making a transit in your 2nd house during this time. So this is a time where you can expect some sort of beginnings as far as your future is concerned. You will be very future focused. Over the next couple of weeks, you will think, either be very worried about your future or have a very positive thinking. This would depend on your ongoing dasha, antardasha, and how some of these energies are playing out. You must spend time with yourself to set certain goals as far as your future is concerned. Your 5 and 11 axis is pretty much active. So there is a financial karma that is involved. There is karma towards children. In case you have children, you will start focusing a lot more towards your children. You will start communicating with them. You will start becoming very friendly with them. You will become like a friend. If you're a father or a mother, you will have very cordial and friendly relationships. You would want to listen to them and empower them to make certain decisions, and which is a good direction. You'll be very future focused. This time period can also bring some sort of progress, some sort of elevation, which could bring you success, because we see Rajya or kingdom from the 5th house, and your 11th house of gains is also pretty much active. You could develop a conflict situation or an argument or any sort of fight with your friends. This is where you have to be careful of, avoid any kind of situation that could hinder your relationship during this time. Take care of your stomach and related things, which are of course associated to your stomach. So what you consume, what you eat matters a lot. You could have some issues. It could be related to food poisoning, it could be related to stomach being upset, or it could be related to your liver or kidney as well. So this is something which you have to take care of and manage during this time. Be very cautious of what you eat, what you consume. Any mantras that you will use during this time, you are going to manifest excellent and phenomenal results during this time. So use Savitur Gayatri mantra, use mantras related to your Lagna Lord Venus or Lakshmi, Devi, Shakti, any of the female deities. You can use a Vishnu mantra as well, very simply, Om Vishnave Nama. That could reap you and bring you a lot of benefits during the eclipse time. Now, one of the other areas where you have to be careful of is your mother's health. That could be a cause of concern during this time. But be very focused on your personal goals, what you intend to achieve. Success is guaranteed if you work towards it, if you put certain efforts as far as your future is concerned. This is the direction where you are heading during this time period, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Gemini ascendants. What is happening with Gemini ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra is concerned? This nakshatra has the energies of Sun, Moon, and also Mercury. It's a natural Buddha Aditya, and this yoga is also present as far as transit is concerned in your 4th house. It's your 2nd Lord Moon that is involved in this eclipse, your 3rd Lord Sun, and your 4th Lord in your Lagna Lord Mercury that is involved in this eclipse in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. And all these planets are being aspected by Mars from your ascendant. It is making a transit there by the 4th aspect, which is the aspect of protection, and by Jupiter, which is making a transit in your 12th house and having a 5th drishti on these planets, the aspect which is the aspect of knowledge. So it is giving a lot of knowledge power. This nakshatra has rajasic energies, material energies, what I have already mentioned at the beginning. So your 4 and 10 axis is pretty much active. Quite certainly Mercury ruled ascendants, Cancer, which is moon ruled ascendants, Leo, sun ruled ascendants, they will have the most impact as far as this eclipse is concerned, regardless of their ongoing dasha antardasha. So that is inevitable. So your 4 and 10 axis is pretty active during this time. So it is happening in your 4th house. One of the things that it will do, be it your choice or not, is to make you go out of your comfort zone, push you out of your comfort zone, because this change, this new beginning is related to your comfort space, is related to where you feel most protected. You could feel a bit threatened over the next couple of weeks by the virtue of other people, by the virtue of the public, by the virtue of your work environment. So stay calm, relax, spend time in doing those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Maybe you will pick up a hobby that you have been missing out on, or an area of interest, or an extracurricular activity that you've been thinking of doing since a long time, and now it's the time to start. There would be a huge focus on building cordial relationships or improving relationship with your mother, or looking at back home, or if you live away from your home, there could be some karma which could make you be more. If you live away from your home, there could be some karma which will make you have some close ties with people from your home. These could be your relatives, these could be your friends, or those who are known to you. Your 10th house is also involved, your 4 and 10 axis. So one thing that you will try to fix during this time is your workplace environment, how that can improve. And your communication will play a very important role. You have an opportunity to create some good impression on other people who you work with, because workplace transformation is also inevitable. So there's an end of work and then there's a start of new work. This could happen in very quick succession because Mercury is involved, and Mercury is very quick decision maker. It's very fast paced graha. So it delivers results in a very quick succession. So things can happen all of a sudden. Since your 4th house is involved, it is also one of the moksha trine. From a spiritual point of view, it is excellent. Practice yoga, practice sadhana. You should do a lot of yoga, you should do a lot of meditation to channelize these energies. Read Vishnu Sahasranam on the day of eclipse. It could be hugely beneficial for you. And at the same time, try to consciously move out of your comfort zone and do things that make you feel happy at the same time, that make you feel content. Okay, be ready to be on your toes all the time, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Cancer ascendants and what's happening with Cancer ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta. Hasta nakshatra has the energies of Sun, Moon and Mercury, and coincidentally all 3 planets are involved in the eclipse. Sun and Moon are always involved because it happens on an Amavasya day or a no moon day. Moon is conjoined these planets in the sign of Virgo. This is happening on 2nd of October, which is a Wednesday. Your 3 and 9 axis is involved. Your ascendant Lord Moon or your Lagna Lord is involved. So regardless of your dasha antardasha, you will be impacted by this eclipse over the next few weeks. Your 2nd Lord Sun is involved, and your 3rd Lord Mercury is involved. change is inevitable because your 3 and 9 axis is getting active. Eclipses denote new beginning, particularly the solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is about ending, and then solar eclipse is about ending and new beginnings. So manifesting new beginnings, putting things to a stop, putting things to a closure, and then starting a new journey. This is the key word for you. Going on a journey. So going on a journey does not necessarily mean that you will travel. You could start something new. You would improve your relationship with your sibling, particularly if it's a younger sibling. You will be more communicative. You will be more conscious about your communication, particularly written communication. If you send emails, you will read it 2 or 3 times before sending it across. You will be very careful, mindful, and conscious of your words. You will have a lot of compassion in your communication. You will also have authority in your communication, but at the same time, you would like to blend it with compassion, which will make you an effective communicator. So this is a huge area of improvement for you. If you've been looking forward to improving your communication, this is the time for you to manifest. Go on a journey, take some travel. If it is for spiritual purpose, if it is for dharmic purpose, it could give you some excellent results and some great things to manifest during this time. Your prayers will be heard if you go on a spiritual journey. Over the next 2 months, I will urge you to take at least one spiritual journey or the trip to get some enlightenment. Any advice that you will take from your guru or your mentor during this time, 100% it will benefit you. 100% it will be of your good if you listen to that advice, if you follow. Condition, you need to trust that person, and at the same time take into account your own sense of judgment as well in terms of how you will follow that advice. That could be pretty useful for you. Since Hasta represents your hand with 5 fingers, anything that you do with your hand is going to give you some relief, some good benefits. Journal during this time. This is something which I will highly recommend you. Anything that you pen down, you are going to manifest it. Be grateful about things. Write those things that you wish to achieve. Write about your dreams as well. Anything that you want in life, you need to pen it down. And if you pen it down, you will work towards it. You don't need any other remedy. And for this, I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo Ascendants and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra. Hasta Nakshatra is ruled by Moon. The deity is Sun or Savitur, and it has got energies of both Sun as well as Moon. Now this eclipse is happening in your 2-8 axis. So there are heavy energies on your 2nd and 8th axis during this time. Your 2nd house is primarily involved in the solar eclipse. Your ascendant lord Sun is involved in the eclipse, your 12th lord Moon is involved in the eclipse, and your 2nd and the 11th lord Mercury is involved in this eclipse. There is a Buddha Aditya Yoga that is getting activated in your 2nd house, which indicates family. New beginnings as far as family is concerned. You could welcome a new member in your family over the next few months. You could expect some positive shift, some positive changes as far as your family is concerned. Hasta as a nakshatra is playful, is joyful. So you could expect a lot of focus on family well-being, a lot of focus on bringing joyfulness and playfulness within your house, within your setting. And this is something, if you consciously work towards it, it will support you in creating more wealth related opportunities to create a secondary source of income. Even your speech. So you're going to go through some transformation that will bring some sort of wit in your speech, humor. So use your humor in your communication, in trying to create or build impression on other people. You will be able to sell anything during this time. If you use wit, if you use humor, if you use a bit of playfulness, joyfulness, you will be able to sell and of course create a very good impression on other people. Now there could be certain amount of uncertainty as well, because there could be a sudden shift, there could be a sudden change in your finances, a sudden decision that you have to take, which is with regards to either your family, their well-being, or your finances, or your financial management. Or you may be forced to stop eating something. There could be a dietary restriction. So you can make a conscious choice of choosing your meal, what you were to consume, what you were to eat. Be very conscious about it. And this is a drastic step that you can take. If you've been looking forward to like going on a diet plan or starting something or focusing a lot on what you need to eat and what not, this is an excellent time to manifest. Finally, that day is here which can support your physical transformation, because your 8th axis, your house 2 and 8 axis is involved, which supports your transformation, and that does it for good. So if you go on a conscious diet plan or your own well-being plan, this could support your transformation in a good way. Otherwise, it could be detrimental to your health. So you have to be careful during this time. You have to be cautious during this time. If you were to study astrology, Jyotish, any of the hidden subjects, this is an excellent time to study. Worship Lord Vishnu, and most importantly, what you can do on the day of the eclipse is chant any mantra related to Surya, which is your Lagna Lord. This could give you a lot of benefits during this time. Or you could read Aditya Hridaya Strotam, which will give you inner strength to deal with many challenges in your life. This is the ultimate remedy for you during this time, and for that I wish you the very best and may you have exciting times ahead. Now let us talk about Virgo Ascendant. What is happening with Virgo Ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, which is in your ascendant, in the nakshatra of Hasta, second pada, which is the Artha pada. Hasta Nakshatra is ruled by moon and it's got energies of sun. So it has energies of sun, moon and Mercury. And all 3 planets are there in your ascendant. So your 1 and 7 axis is pretty much involved as far as this eclipse or this Grahan is concerned. And eclipses happen each and every year. They denote endings and new beginnings. This is a very joyful nakshatra. It is a very playful nakshatra. It represents laughter, it represents beginning, punctuality, time management, our discipline, our overall energy, the combination of Sun and Mercury, which forms the Buddha Aditya Yoga, the powerful yoga for learning, for education, for being more wise or more intelligent, because this channelizes your buddhi or your brain in a way that you pick up things in a very fast manner, in a very comfortable manner. Your ascendant is involved. So transformation, change is inevitable. You're going to give up on a habit. You're going to start something new. You've been trying to give up on something since a long time and you're going to start something new. Maybe you've been in a sense of isolation since a long time and this is the time to come out in the open. Or it could be vice versa, that you've been extremely expressive and you might want to become an introverted person for some time. You might want to focus a lot on your reflection, on your thinking, which is not bad. It is going to be 2 extremes. So if you've been outgoing, you will reverse. If you've been inwards, if you've been thinking, reflecting all by yourself, you'll start to come out of your shell and be in the open. So this is how these energies are going to play a role. You are likely to go through physical transformation. So if you want to consciously work on your personality, on your transformation, on your physical well-being, on your mental well-being, and leveraging the power of your intelligence, learning something, this is an excellent time to make use of new beginnings. Chant Savitur Gayatri mantra during this time. You will be hugely benefited as far as your strength is concerned, as far as your mental capacity is concerned to deal with a number of things. There is also relationship karma that is involved. Your partner is going to support you during this time. Make sure you listen to them. Make sure you take their advice. Your 1-7 axis is involved. You will be under the illusion. You might want to, force your advice on others, but listen to other people's advice and what they have got for you. Maybe it is useful for you. Maybe you can gain something from it. Okay. So this is one of the other remedies that I have for you. Make sure you keep yourself hydrated. Drink plenty of water to counter all of these fiery energies that is going on in your ascendant. So there's a mix of fire, wind, water, earth. So there are a lot of complex energies that are going on in your ascendant. Take care of your health and well-being for a bit. So it could create some complication and there could be some minor health issues, or there could be a minor injury. So you have to be a bit careful during this time, particularly about your head. So you could be prone to headaches, you could have some issue with your eyes. So yeah, just be careful of some of these things over the next few weeks. Otherwise, it's a great transformation. It depends on how you immerse yourself in this transformation. Okay, worship Lord Vishnu, chant any mantras related to Buddha, related to Mercury during this time, and you could be hugely benefited because it is going pretty strong in your ascendant. It is exalted, it gains directional strength. It's an opportunity to manifest and channelize your personal transformation to the best of your ability and capacity, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Libra ascendants and what's happening with Libra ascendants as far as this eclipse, solar eclipse, is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta in your 12th house. So Hasta Nakshatra has the energy of Sun, Moon, and also Mercury. Okay, it denotes new beginnings, it denotes laughter, joyfulness, playfulness, your punctuality, your time management, your inner energy, your intelligence, because this is where Buddha Aditya Yoga work to its full optimum potential, and that is what is happening. And this yoga, this eclipse, is happening in your 12th house. Okay, so your 12th lord is pretty much involved here, which is Mercury. Okay, Sun is involved, Moon is involved. They happen to be your 10th lord and the 11th lord respectively. So as a matter of fact, workplace related changes you can expect, changes related to relationship with your friends. So there could be transformation in these two areas. So one is that you will spend a lot of time and energies in resolving other people's conflict. Okay, but you have to be careful while doing so, depending on the role that you have, depending on the level of involvement, and if it is not, causing you stress, and if you take care of your own mental sanity and it does not let these energy affect you personally, because otherwise you could have restlessness, you could have you could be a lot of conscious about your own well-being, you would be anxious. So just be mindful of that anxiety, not get into your head. 12th house is where this eclipse is happening. So 12 and 6 axis is pretty much involved. So from a spiritual point of view, it's the beginning. If you have been thinking of starting your spiritual journey, this is an excellent time. Anything that you donate during this time, that's a must do for you. Donate wheat, donate rice, donate green vegetables, or donate green pulses or green grams, or even you could donate pistachios as well. So these are some of the things which could give you some benefits during this time, particularly if you donate wheat or wheat flour, any form of grains. If you donate those grains, you will be highly benefited during this time. Since Mercury is involved, it is happening in your 12th house. Mercury is associated to pigeons. So if you feed pigeons, and particularly if you give them green moong, dip them, soak them in water, and then give it, because it's really hard, so you could get some benefits, particularly on that Wednesday of 2nd October. If you have pigeons around, feed them. It's very good from a wealth point of view. It is also very good from a mental stability and a mental peace point of view, and this is something which you can make a regular habit. As far as you don't need to wait for a solar eclipse to happen. You can do it on a weekly basis, you can do it every day, as in when you can. So your 6th house is also involved, so 12 and 6 axis. So there is certain transformational change coming as far as your job is concerned. As far as your mental position or mental connection with your work, that is going to see some change or a transformation. Maybe you might start feeling more connected with your work than ever before. You might start finding it more meaningful, more relevant to what you've been wanting to do. So this is a discovery phase for you to really understand what decisions you can take as far as near future is concerned. You are going to take some financial decisions. You're also going to make some decisions about your physical transformation. Maybe you might start changing the way you dress. You might start wearing different kind of footwear during this time. You might start experimenting with your wardrobe, with your clothing. So this is something which you could expect during this time. Chant Savitur Gayatri. It is going to bring in a lot of mental peace. Read, listen, or chant Vishnu Sahasranam. That is an ultimate remedy for you to attain a lot of mental peace and mindfulness and embrace that in your life. And for this, I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Scorpio ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio ascendants as far as the annual solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta is concerned. Hasta Nakshatra has energies of Moon, which is the nakshatra lord, Sun, which is the primary deity, Savitur, associated to this nakshatra, and also Mercury, which is the sign lord. It naturally has the Buddha Aditya Yoga, Sun, energy of Sun and Mercury. So yoga for intelligence, yoga for promoting and having many learning opportunities in life, or a continuous learning phase as far as this yoga is concerned. Now this eclipse is happening in your 11 and 5 axis, primarily in your 11th house, okay, and this is also aspected by your Lagna Lord, by your second Lord, that is Jupiter, by your second or fifth and fifth Lord, Jupiter. They are involved as well in aspecting all these planets. Your 10th Lord, Sun is involved, your 9th Lord, Moon is involved, and your 11th Lord, Mercury is involved. So your 9th, 10th, 11th axis is pretty much active. So one decision that you will take, new beginnings that could be there, are very closely related to your income, your aya, your material gains, your material comfort. So anytime an eclipse happens in the 11th house, I consider this as good, because it indicates beginning of signification related to that house, and this house represents gains. Any planet that is making a transit in this house does generally well from that point of view. Mercury is going pretty strong, and Mercury is the primary significator of wealth, and that too cash. So there could be some cash flow that you can expect over the next 2 to 3 weeks. If there are pending payments, delayed payments, wages, salaries, you're likely to see some increase, you're likely to see some recognition, some support of your bosses at workplace, some support of your colleagues or people that you work with, some support from the authority or the government if you have some paperwork that could move during this time. Your 5th axis is also involved. So if you were to travel for your work outside of the country, it could be a favorable time. It could be a pretty good time for those people. And even if you were to settle or move outside of the country, this could be pretty supportive for you as far as your future pursuits are concerned during this time. Any mantras that you use during this time, you could use a simple Vishnu mantra, Om Vishnave Nama, or you could read Vishnu Sahasranam on the day of the eclipse. You can also chant Savitur Gayatri. These mantras and prayers are going to be hugely beneficial because your 5th house is involved, and this is where we see mantras from, and this is how you need to channelize these energies. You need to focus on relationship with your friends, because there could be some argument, there could be some conflict, there could be some karma which is related to difference of opinion, where there could be an ego clash or a communication issue. So be mindful of it, and do not come to a stage where you have to part ways with your close friends. So be careful and ignore some of those things. Try to understand and try to accommodate or compromise, and of course come to a win-win situation. If you can, try to listen to the other person. This is again one of the input or tip that I'd like to share with you, and overall I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendants and what's happening with Sagittarius ascendants as far as the solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta. So this eclipse is happening in your 10 and 4 axis. Now interestingly, your Lagna Lord is aspecting all the planets involved in this eclipse: Sun, Moon and Mercury. So your 10th Lord Mercury is involved in this eclipse, your 9th Lord is involved, your 8th Lord is involved in this solar eclipse. Your 10th house is involved, which is your most important Kendra house. This is where we see karma, your action in the society, your profession or job from. Eclipses signify new beginnings, manifestations, cleansing. It's a restart or a reboot, endings and new beginnings, a fresh start. This nakshatra is all about laughter, joyfulness, playfulness. It's got a lot of pleasant energies. It has got the energies of Surya, initiation, time management, punctuality, and also the sensitivity of moon, the compassion of moon. So these are the kind of energies which are there. So quite certainly from a work standpoint, it's quite a progressive time. Work scenario is going to improve. This time period is going to bring in a lot of joyfulness related to the kind of work that you're doing, or you might start doing or taking up a work which you really enjoy doing, something that you've been wanting to do since a long time. Now is the time to start. Now is the time to manifest something where you could be cheerful, you could focus on your mental well-being, where you can build meaningful connections, where you can have a very pleasant environment as far as your workplace is concerned. Now some things which would have bothered you in the past, now it is time to look forward for a new beginning, for a fresh start. So as far as work is concerned, as far as fresh start is concerned, this is a new beginning that is happening. So work related change is inevitable during this time. That too, considering the fact that your Lagna Lord is involved as far as this eclipse is concerned by the virtue of aspect, and that aspect is going to promote learning with regards to your work, knowledge with regards to your job, your business. You're going to take some key decisions. You're going to step out of your comfort zone. Mother's health could be a cause of concern, so you need to focus on your mother's health, well-being of your relatives, well-being of the people at your home, your overall condition and situation. Excellent time to declutter. Keep your workplace clean, keep your home clean, declutter, give away those things that you don't need. This is also one of the remedies for you. Read, chant or listen to Vishnu Sahasranam to promote workplace related auspiciousness, and of course manifesting some of those good energies as far as new beginnings are concerned, which are related to your workplace, which are related to your actions in the society, which are related to those things that you would do to sustain in this world for yourself and for your loved ones, because towards the end you will work for your loved ones, you will work for your family, and this is an excellent start. It's an excellent stepping stone, and for this I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Capricorn Ascendants and what's happening with Capricorn Ascendants as far as the solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta. Hasta Nakshatra means hands with these 5 fingers or the palm. This is the energy of Hasta Nakshatra. It carries the energy of moon, the compassion of moon, which is the nakshatra lord, sun, which is the primary deity, since it is associated to Savitur, and also Mercury, which is the sign lord. So these 3 planets, it put together authority, compassion and communication. So these are the kind of energy. It's a very joyful nakshatra. It's a playful nakshatra. It's got rajasic material energies. Focus a lot on punctuality, time management. And it's an interesting time for you because this is happening in your 9th house of dharma, bhagya, fortune, long journeys, father figure. 9 and 3 axis, it denotes new beginnings. It denotes starting a long journey. Long journey would not necessarily mean travel, but starting something new which you can sustain and you can continue and sustain and build for a long period of time. So a long-term venture. If you've been thinking of something, this is the time to initiate. This is the time to start. Some planets that are involved, moon is involved, which is your 7th lord, sun is involved, which is your 8th lord, and Mercury is involved, which is your 9th lord. Your Lagna Lord Saturn is not involved in this eclipse. So from a physical standpoint, be very less worried about any sort of pain or suffering at the physical level or as far as your health is concerned. You will be only conscious mentally as far as your health and well-being is concerned. But one thing that is changing, that is having a new beginning, is your dharma. Your fortune is going to rise. It's going to be in that safe space or safe zone. You will be the protector of your dharma. You will be the promoter of your dharma. Any dharmic activities that you do during this time is going to bring you some good deeds, some good results. Go on a journey, spiritual journey. Go on a pilgrimage. Over the next 2 months, a pilgrimage is a must do to foster your well-being, to foster your not only your physical well-being but your mental well-being as well, your mindfulness. It will give you a lot of peace. Starting a new journey because your 9-3 axis is involved. So a new line of work, a new business opportunity, something that is long-term. Be a long-term thinker. Don't just settle in for what is going to happen in the next 1 to 2 months. Think about the next 2 to 3 years and where you see yourself, and gradually take action. And if you use your hands, because Hasta is associated to hand, from a remedy point of view, your 3rd house is pretty much activated, which represents and denotes hand. Write something, pen down your goals, write about things, and this way you will manifest it very easily and very powerfully. Right? You will be very serious about what you write, what you pen down. Don't list down 10, 20, 100 things. Just talk about 2 or 3 things that are of importance to you, and this way you will be very much focused towards those things. It's an excellent remedy. Journal, write about things, write about good things, not so good things, anything that you feel. Just pen down your emotions, just pen down what you feel. It will foster and channelize your well-being. You're going to improve relationship with your father, with your siblings, and Most importantly, take advice of your mentor during this time in your journey. In whatever you're trying to do, get some advice from that person who you trust the most during this time. Use mantras. Please chant Vishnu Sahasranam during this eclipse. You will get a lot of mental peace and you will be able to channelize your energies, your attention in the most appropriate manner. If you have relationship issues, if you have concerns towards your relationship with regards to your partner, because there's some karma as far as love interest, as far as relationship is concerned, chant Savitur Gayatri mantra. Use the power of energies because it will help you in your decision making process. You will make the right kind of decisions. You will be very loyal towards your partner. You will channelize these fiery energies and bring in a lot of compassion and care towards your attitude, in your attitude towards other people, particularly towards your partner. And this way, you will be able to strengthen your relationship. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Aquarius ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius ascendants as far as this solar eclipse is concerned, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta. Hasta Nakshatra means hands. It also denotes laughter, joyfulness, playfulness. It has got the energy of moon, which is the nakshatra lord, the energy of sun, which is the primary deity, and also the energy of Mercury, which is the sign lord. It naturally has a Buddha Aditya yoga kind of energy, which is continuous learning, continuous upskilling and increasing your intelligence. It supports and promotes time management, punctuality, leadership, initiation, starting a new journey, the first ray of light, the first rays of sun, which is beginning your day, starting your day with a lot of energy. This is what it denotes. Now this eclipse is happening in your 8th house. Therefore, transformation is inevitable. You cannot run away from transformation. You cannot run away from change that is going to come all of a sudden. If you want to avoid any uncomfortable situation, be mentally ready, be mentally prepared to face any kind of change, be it adversity, be it a good change. You will also deal with some financial management things. So you will have to take care of your finances, maybe make some investment decisions that could be of long-term interest. There could be some inheritance related decisions as well that could trigger in the next couple of months. Any decisions related to your relationship as well that could also trigger over the next couple of months, whether it's good, bad, ugly, that depends on your ongoing dasha, antardasha. Of course, your Lagna Lord Saturn is not involved in this eclipse. So at the physical level, there is very little that you have to be worried about. Transformation is coming, okay, because your 8th house is involved, your 2nd house is involved, transformation of yourself and your family. So you might want to do some changes as far as family matters are concerned, some decisions that are related to your family. Take it easy. Okay. You would like to spend time in research, spend time in studying hidden subjects, finding out answers to those questions that are unknown, that it's like a discovery phase, it's like a journey that you're venturing into. So if you have interest in occult, astrology, Jyotish, this is an excellent time to learn. See, 8th house is quite important because it is the house of unknown, it is the house of secret, it is also the house of longevity. Therefore, it promotes well-being, it promotes those things which support long life. Okay, so you're going to make some changes as far as your eating habits is concerned. You might stop eating something, you might start eating something, you might make some massive changes as far as your dietary preferences are concerned for personal growth, for personal transformation, and this will help you to cope up with this change. Meditation is going to help, sadhana, yoga is going to help, chant Savitur Gayatri, read Vishnu Sahasranam during the eclipse. This could help you channelize these energies in the most appropriate way for your own well-being and also for your mental sanity during this time. Okay, try not to be in your shell, try to be there and open, try to socialize as well with people, try not to be in your shell during this time. So therefore, this is how you will be able to channelize your personal transformation in the most efficient manner. And again, be mindful of some financial decisions that you will have to make during this time. Maybe you start a secondary source of income, or maybe you get a financial rise or an increment or some sort of growth as far as your finances are concerned. Something that has ended, maybe you had a pause in your income, you had a delay in a payment. This is a time when it will continue, it will restart. There's a new beginning, something that you have to look forward to, and keep your mental health at check all the time. Make sure you reach out to others if you need any support, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces ascendants as far as the solar eclipse, which is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta at 15 degrees of Virgo, when Sun and Moon will be conjoined, and there will be the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Your Lagna Lord Jupiter is involved in this eclipse because it is aspecting all these planets. Mars is involved, is aspecting all these planets, and quite certainly it holds a great significance for you. Your 5th Lord is involved, Moon. Your 6th Lord, Sun, is involved. Your 7th Lord, Mercury, is involved. This is happening in your 7th house. And Hasta Nakshatra indicates joyfulness, playfulness, laughter, new beginnings, discipline, punctuality, time management, putting your energy. It's the ray of the sun. So it's got a lot of energy, it's got a lot of firepower, how you start your day, where you get your energies from, right? How you rise, and of course, plan for your whole day. And what are those things that you want to achieve? What are those things that you want to do? This is happening in your 7th house, 7 and 1 axis, your 7th and the Lagna. This is the house of marriage, partnership, relationship. Those people who are opposite to you, anything that is opposite to you is denoted by the 7th house. Your attitude towards other people is seen from the 7th house and its Lord. So there will be a transformation. There will be a renewed approach in your attitude towards other people. That is going to change. Most likely it will change for good, and it should change for good, because you will be very conscious when you would be dealing with other people, and particularly your relationship. You would want to put in a lot of focus in improving your relationship, because you've had a massive conflict in the last few weeks, which has been very detrimental and has had a severe negative impact on your relationship. This is the time for you to improve. This is the time for you to make use of these renewed energies and move forward. There could be new business opportunities as well, depending on your ongoing dasha antardasha. Change as far as business is concerned, as far as relationship, any agreements, any contracts, dealing with those people who are opposite to you is inevitable during this time, because your Lagna Lord is pretty much involved. It is pretty much active during this time, and also your 7th Lord, which rules all of these things. So expect transformation in your relationship, expect some sort of change. If you've been looking forward to get into a new relationship, this is the time. If you've been looking forward to finding a match to get married, this is the time for you to look forward to it. Okay, your 1st house is also involved, your 7 and 1 axis. So at a physical level also you could expect some transformation. Okay, maybe you start changing your habits, you start improving your personality, consciously working towards becoming a better version of yourself than how you were maybe an year ago or a few months ago. You might start focusing consciously in terms of how you appear, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, accessories, what you wear, what you don't wear. So you'll be very picky about these things, right? And this could become a cause of concern as well, because you will be very impulsive of making some buying decisions or purchasing some new clothes or items. But just take it easy, okay? Think through and plan accordingly. If something that you want to do which will give a lot of mental peace and well-being, do that, right? That is well accepted, right? And if it is not causing any trouble or concern in your life, very well do it. Your partner is going to play a very important role. So make sure that you're focusing on listening to your partner and maintaining and building cordial relationship. New business opportunities, again, as I mentioned, you could look forward to it. Chant Savitur Gayatri during this time to channelize these energies to help you make a well-informed decision, so that you're aware of all the pros and cons, all the benefits, advantages, disadvantages of your decision. You're very well aware of what you're stepping into. So if you're starting a new line of work, you know if something went wrong with your plan, you have a plan B. If that doesn't work, you have plan C, you have some contingency. You know how it is going to have an impact. So you will be very well aware and well informed of your decisions. This is the kind of firepower this prayer is going to bring in your life. And on the day of the eclipse, please chant Vishnu Sahasranam. It will bring you heaps of benefits as far as this particular time period is concerned. for your relationship journey, which should be exciting. I wish you the very best. So this was about the annual solar eclipse that is happening in the sign of Virgo in the nakshatra of Hasta, which has Sun, Moon, Mercury, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter and Mars involved. I hope and believe this solar eclipse brings a fresh start as far as our daily routine is concerned. Things that we do on a day-to-day basis brings a sense of joyfulness, laughter and playfulness in our lives, which are the energies of this nakshatra. Help us be more punctual, respect others' time and respect your time as well, work a lot towards time management, and brings a fresh start and exciting new beginnings in our life. Thank you very much. God bless you all.